This is how it happened. This is how the Batman died.
Mr. Bat, run him down!
What's up, guys? It is me, your boy Loki, the #1 most famous VTuber in the world. What can be said about the Arkham games that hasn't been said already? Arkham Knight is my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog game. There we go, that probably hasn't been said yet. Seriously though, the Rocksteady Arkham games and even the Warner Bros. Montreal one are some of the finest examples of interactive literature the superhero game genre has ever produced. This guy knows. You copied off of Batman's homework, didn't you, buddy? Yeah, you did. Shame on you. But which of these 4 games is the best? A moot point, you might think, and you'd be justified in saying so because each and every one of these games is incredible in their own right. Each one sets out to do something completely different, and each one knocks it out of the park. Comparing them would be like comparing apples to oranges. However, when you have a list of things, someone somewhere is going to put them in order from worst to best. That's just the way it is. Which is why I'm here to tell you, definitively, once and for all, without any room for debate, which one is best. It's apples. Oranges suck. Phew! That was easy. I'm glad we finally cleared that one up. Back to the Arkham games, though. Those are a little trickier to sort. But with 4 games in the series, one of them has to be the best, and one of them has to be the worst, so which is which? Well, it's no surprise to me that Arkham Origins is at the bottom of most people's lists. It is, without a doubt, the worst of the Arkham games. But that worst comes with a huge asterisk beside it, because Arkham Origins is awesome. Its siblings, though, are that much better. And how could they not be when they bring back most of the cast of Batman the Animated Series, including the legendary Mark Hamill as the Joker and Kevin Conroy, who no one will ever be able to replace as the one true Batman.
I am vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Batman.
What does surprise me, though, is all the hate that Arkham Knight got. It's typically pretty low on people's lists, often just above Origins or sometimes even in last place. And to that, I say... Yeah, that. Before I get into why I think Arkham Knight is so great, I think I first have to at least acknowledge what it is about this game that makes other people say otherwise. So, let's address the heavily armored, hyper-weaponized, rocket-propelled elephant in the room. So, yeah, I get it. They overdid it a little on the Tankmobile gameplay. Between all the main story missions where you're required to use the car's battle mode and all the side missions you have to do to 100% the game, it certainly wouldn't have hurt if Rocksteady had dialed that back just a tiny bit. But while the tank segments inarguably get a bit tedious, that doesn't make them bad. In fact, I think this take on the Bats ride is pretty awesome. Here's 3 reasons why. Reason number 1. Reason number 2. And reason number 3. Oh, come on! You've gotta admit this is cool! I've heard it argued that this version of the Batmobile is just not what the Batmobile is supposed to be like. Batman's car shouldn't be a tank, it should be sleek, stylish, cool. But here's the thing about that. You're wrong.
You like,
The Tumblr.
don't you?
Loki.
Don't get me wrong, I love the Batmobile from the '89 film, and I love that Cadillac-looking thing he drives in the animated series. But, if you're Batman, and you're pursuing a criminal, you don't want that criminal thinking, "Whoa, slick ride, dude!" You want him thinking,
Jeez, he's coming after us! For it! Come on, get us out of here!
fear and intimidation are Batman's foundation, and his primary weapon against Gotham's criminal underbelly. So, if you imagine Batman designing his car, it stands to reason that style would be the last thing on his mind. He would want the vehicle he uses to pursue criminals to be scary, and this thing is scary. Some have implied that Arkham Knight might have been better off if the Batmobile was left out of the game completely, but I vehemently disagree. No true Batman fan in their right mind could possibly pass up on an opportunity to drive the Batmobile. Ever since the opening cutscene to Arkham Asylum, I've wanted to get behind the wheel.
Ever since I laid eyes on that, I wanted it.
And Arkham Knight delivers. True, it's not the same car, though you can actually drive the original Arkham Batmobile in certain side modes and even in the overworld after beating the main story. For better or worse, the car is one of the things that distinguishes Arkham Knight from the other games in the series, and though I admittedly would have preferred to see it implemented a little differently, you can't deny how awesome it is to be able to tear through Gotham in the Batmobile. Speaking of Gotham, that's another thing Arkham Knight has that the others don't. Arkham Asylum, of course, takes place exclusively in and around Arkham Asylum. Arkham City is a walled-off section of Gotham repurposed for the containment of the ever-growing criminal population. And while Arkham Origins does take place in Gotham, it isn't nearly as large as the Arkham Knight map, nor does it give you as many means for traversal. What's more, this version of Gotham looks to have drawn inspiration from every on-screen Batman we'd gotten up until that point. At times, you might feel like you're smack in the middle of one of the Nolan films, but other parts of Arkham Knight's Gotham evoke memories of the Burton movies. It also can't be overstated how awesome the new Batsuit looks. No, not that one. That one. The Arkham Knight Batsuit is the perfect mix of Batman's classic-looking colors meshed flawlessly with the focus on functionality and practicality we expect from a modern Batsuit. And the biggest upside? No underwear over the suit. Also, while making this video, I opened the game to check on something and realized they added the Battinson suit.
Wow, they have it!
So, I guess I'll be replaying Arkham Knight. Again. Finally, the biggest draw for me about this game, what really sets Arkham Knight apart from the other three games, is that you get to do Batman's job from start to finish. In the other games, you beat the bad guys, then you just leave. The understanding being that someone from GCPD will pick them up later. In Arkham Knight, when you knock out one of the villains, you put them in the back of the Batmobile and drive them to GCPD, where you toss their ass into prison yourself. It's a cathartic feeling, being able to see it through to the end, that the other games just don't give you, you know? Not to resurrect a dead meme, but Arkham Knight really makes you feel like Spider-Man. And it's not just the big baddies either. Over the course of your playthrough, the holding cells at GCPD lockup will gradually fill with the other criminals you've detained. I love this detail. They could have displayed the number of criminals you've beaten as a stat or a score somewhere in one of the game menus, but they went the extra mile and put all the guys you lock up in a spot you'll have to pass through multiple times over the course of the game. It's an awesome and creative way to visualize your progress through the story.
Tonight's the night we finally break the bat! Oh!
So, if all the Arkham games are great, what is it that makes this one the best? Well, for me, it's because this game is the only one that delivers the Batman package in its entirety. It's got a great suit, it lets you drive the car, it lets you explore a full, albeit scaled down, Gotham, and it lets you, from start to finish, be Batman. I feel like the other games, Asylum especially, are just bite-sized chunks of what it's like to be Batman. Arkham Knight, though, gives you the full experience, and then some, by also showing you what it's like to see Batman through the eyes of his enemies. Arkham Knight might as well be called Batman Simulator, which, for anyone who's ever wanted to be Batman, makes it an easy pick for the best out of the Arkham games. That's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in.